to Talon Talk. I'm Emily Graff of Armstrong High School in the Armstrong School District. On today's episode of Talon Talk, we will be talking about one of the biggest nights of the school year, prom. We've decided to go out into the halls of AHS and ask the students their opinion on the magical night.
Good morning, I'm Kyla Baker.
And I'm Zoe Vinton.
And today we're going to be asking people questions about prom. I'm here with Molly B, and today we're going to be talking about prom. So Molly, how do you feel about prom?
I think it's overrated, but I feel like people spend too much on it, and it should be less like a big deal, I think, but it is a good time.
And do you think freshmen and sophomores should be allowed to go to prom even if they're not asked?
If they aren't asked, I don't think they should be allowed. I think it is a thing for like upperclassmen. It's something that they look forward to, like at the end of high school.
Okay. And about how much do you think a girl should spend on a prom dress?
I think that they should spend definitely more on their senior year, but their junior year, I'd say like maybe like 300. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here with Isaac Weaver. So, Isaac, how do you feel about prom?
Well, I think it's pretty good. It raises money for the school.
And how do you feel about promposals?
Well, it's a waste of time. Why don't you say, hey, you want to go to prom? Say, I'm not going to waste money to ask you to go to prom. I'm already buying the tops.
Thank you.
So today I'm here with Olivia Kowalski, and I'm going to be asking her questions about prom. So, Liv, how do you feel about prom?
I feel that prom is a very important aspect in our school. Everyone waits for it. No, like people like homecoming, but it's not something they look forward to. They look forward to prom because it's more, I think, down-based. Like there's only certain grades there and things like that. So I think a lot of people like prom.
And what do you think about promposals?
What I think about promposals, they're cute and all. Some of them are a little over the top. Like I don't think some should be done, and some of them are a little weird. But like if you've been dating for a while, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, or you like someone, you want to ask them, you might as well ask them in a cute way, because that's mostly what girls nowadays like to be asked.
And about how much do you think a girl should spend on her prom dress?
That's a tough one, because I know I like to go kind of over the top with my dresses, but I don't think you should be spending a ridiculous amount of money when it comes to prom, because it's just a dance. But if you're a senior, then yeah, I would spend a little more money than I would as a junior, because that's your last prom, the last like hurrah for like high school. So that's what I think about that.
Okay, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Joe Farr. Joe, what's your opinion on prom?
My opinion on prom, I think it's a good way for people to have a good time, I guess.
All right, and do you feel as if the freshmen and sophomores should go to prom even if they're not asked?
Yeah, if they want to, so they don't sit at home all day and just watch TV or something.
All right, and what is your opinion on the promposals?
I have no idea what that is.
When you like ask someone to prom, like with the big boards and everything.
Oh yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Now back to Emily at the studio.
Thank you, Kyla and Zoe. Here with me today is Zoe Coach. Thanks for coming to talk.
You're welcome.
What's your opinion on prom?
I love prom. It's the most exciting time of the year, I think. I think it's honestly, like, the best thing about Armstrong.
What's your opinion on promposals?
I love promposals. I think they're so cute. Like, seeing everyone propose to their date, like, I think that's awesome. Now, like, people play it out to be that, like, the guy usually has to, like, ask the girl, but I think that girls can ask guys, too. I think it's kind of funny.
Do you think the cost of prom is too much?
I do, because the tickets alone are about $90, $95, and then the girls also have to spend money on a dress and shoes, hair, nails, makeup, like all this stuff, and boys, they have to buy the suit, like, and the flowers. Like, I just think it's all way too much money, honestly.
Do you think underclassmen like freshmen and sophomores should be allowed to go to prom?
I do not, because I think it is a privilege for the juniors and seniors to have their own dance as upperclassmen. Now, the sophomores and freshmen can go to prom if they are asked by a junior or a senior, which I think is okay because I've done that the past 2 years, but I think it is a good opportunity for juniors and seniors to have their own dance.
What happens at prom?
Everyone gets there and sits down at their table that they picked, and they eat. They go table by table to go get food, and people finish up taking their pictures and talking with their friends, and then we go dance for a good amount of time.
If you could change one thing about prom, what would it be?
If I could change one thing, it would probably be the cost, because I do love prom. I love everything about it. It's such a fun night. But I do think it's very expensive, especially the dress and the ticket and everything that comes together. It ends up costing a lot.
If you could only go to one formal dance a year, would you choose homecoming or prom?
Oh, definitely prom. I mean, again, it is a privilege for juniors and seniors to have their own dance, but I've had the opportunity to go the past 2 years, and it's honestly a blast. Just having less people there, I think, makes it a lot better.
Where do you think an ideal location for prom around here would be?
I think where we have it at, Lobby Hall, is a great place for us to have it, only because there is a nice balcony where you can go take some cute pictures, and then the place is big enough for all of Armstrong to fit because we do have a lot of upperclassmen, and I think it's a great place for us to have prom.
Is the food at prom good?
I think it's very good. I mean, the past 2 years, I think it was, we had Gardas cater us, which is always great. But this year, since it was always a hit, I think we are also doing Gardas again this year, so it should be good again. Yeah, me too.
Do you think the students attending prom should have to attend the school day of prom?
I do not. I think that it is very time consuming to get ready, especially for the girls. I mean, we got to do our hair and our makeup and just make sure everything looks pretty, and it's a long process, and I don't think that we should have to come to school for 4 periods, I think it is, and do work before we have to go get ready for prom.
In the past, we have done the lip dub the day of prom. Do you think we should continue that?
Well, if we didn't have to come to school, I would say no, because then none of the juniors or seniors going to prom would be in the lip dub. But with our situation, since we do have to come to school to be able to go to prom, I think the lip dub's a great idea, because who wants to come to school and do work the day of prom? I know I don't.
I don't either. When should people begin getting ready for prom, like finding a date or dress shopping?
Well, girls like to buy their dresses very early, which I don't have a problem with at all, because I do too. I think they should probably start dress shopping around maybe February, March, and start finding a dress, only because I've went in March the past couple of years and they were actually running out of dress styles, and it's very stressful when you want to find a dress. I mean,
I did get mine in December last year.
Yeah,
so.
I got hers very early, which, again, there's no problem with that, only because they do run out of dresses, and our prom's actually pretty early. The April, that's pretty early for a prom, so we do have that advantage of having it earlier to get dresses, but I still think you need to go early, because it's not just Armstrong that's having prom, it's all of the schools around us.
Where do you think the best place for Grand March is?
I think either Katanning or Fort Cities Park is ideal place to have Grand March, only because at Katanning especially, there's a lot of seating, and the Fort City has a nice pavilion that you can get pretty pictures, and I think having it outside is really nice because we get to be outside in the spring. But Mr. Rummel did mention he wanted to keep Grand March at the school this year. So he wants to have it on the football field or something like that, which would be okay too, but I do think either Katanning or Fort Cities Park's a nice place.
Do you think prom should be longer?
I do, only because I remember last year especially, we got there and we ate, and by the time everyone was done eating, since there was a lot of us, we actually didn't have that much time to dance. We only had an hour, hour and a half maybe, and I don't think that was enough time, because it is fun and you want to keep dancing, and I do think it should have been extended. Now I see for juniors, we do have a curfew and we have to be home by 11, which I get that, but a senior could take you home or someone can come pick you up, so I do think it should be extended.
Do you think it's necessary to have a date for prom?
I do, only because if you do not have a date, you can't go to Grand March because there's only one of you, and then also to take pictures and someone to dance with when you get there. I think it's just better to have a date to do those things with, but there is nothing wrong with going by yourself. You totally can.
What's the theme of prom this year?
This year it's actually to the moon and back, and we are decorating it in the theme of A Starry Night.
Who's responsible for organizing prom?
The junior class is in charge, and Miss Contrell and Mrs. Orlowski are the head of junior class, so they do a lot of running it.
Are you in junior class?
I am.
What do you do to raise money for prom?
We did a lot of fundraisers this year. A couple of them include we sold chocolate bars. Everyone in junior class had to sell 50 chocolate bars, and then Miss Contrell actually sells them in her room as well. We did an art show a couple months ago that raised us a lot of money. And then we also do little things such as we sold buffalo chicken dip at our volleyball tournament that we do every year, and things like that really raise a lot of money for us.
Are you going to prom?
I am going to prom this year.
Well, I hope you have a fun time.
Thank you, Emily.
That's our show for today. I'd like to thank the TV production students here at AHS for being our production crew today. They were led by their teacher, Dawn Swanson.